I'm interested in the way we project fantasies and desires onto statues, in a sense bringing them alive. Around 2018, my curiosity evolved into a project called Statues Also Fall in Love. This title derives both from Chrisa Markera and Alaina Resnais' film Statues Also Die, which studies the fate of African art and Western culture, and from George Hersey's book Falling in Love with Statues. Hersey, an art historian, discusses the roles statues have played in fulfilling our desires for beauty and love. I combined these titles to create my own. I began to think about how my work might embody the way our imaginations animate statues. My first idea was to film performers copying the poses of classical marble figures and then coming to life. In so doing, they can explore the myths and allegories embedded in the statues. The Three Graces was the first film I made this way. I learned from a text of the ancient Roman philosopher Seneca that the graces represent gift-giving, that is, giving, receiving, and returning. I loved that these graceful female figures represent generosity. The film led me to the idea of making lenticular prints that can flip between two or more images. My friend, the artist Josefina Chetko, introduced me to the lenticular lab Lentimax in Łódź, where I made my first series of large-scale black and white prints. In these, the images flip between photos of classical marble statues that I shot in museums and photos of contemporary actors that I found online in identical poses. The show also includes a recent set of color prints. Similarly, images of marble statues that I shot in museums and outdoor spaces in Italy that flip to images of contemporary actors. The missing souvenir consists of small replicas of Berlin's Victory Column. After noticing there were no souvenirs of this popular Berlin tourist attraction, I decided to produce an unlimited edition of them in 2004 for the third Berlin Biennial. The monument commemorates Germany's 1870 victory over France in the Battle of Sedan, which ended the Franco-Prussian War and resulted in Germany becoming a nation-state. In 1939, Hitler moved the column from its original location in front of the Reichstag to where it now stands in Tiergarten, along an east-west axis through the city that the German army was meant to pass in its return from Russia. He also made it taller and broader. Souvenirs are a way of remembering, holding on to memories so that they remain present. The absence of a Victory Column souvenir suggests the opposite, a desire to repress not only memories of the monument, but also its troubling past. My interest in statues includes popular public figures like the Bowling Girl on Wall Street in New York City. These statues are popular tourist attractions. Arturo de Modica created the bull in 1987 as a tribute to American enterprise. As a feminist response, Kristen Visbal installed her Fearless Girl directly in front of the bull on International Women's Day in 2017. The psychological tension between the two works served as a starting point for a series of drawings and lenticular prints. Here, the bull and girl parallel the mythological story about the Minotaur in the Labyrinth, also recalling the cult of Picasso and his identification with the Minotaur during his relationship with the young Maria Theresa. I was most interested in the space between the statues, filled with mythology that tourists immerse themselves in unawares. In 2019, due to de Modica's protests, the Fearless Girl was moved away from the bull to face an unresponsive facade of New York's Stock Exchange. This year, Veronica Gonzalez Pina and I completed the film The Space Between Us that explores the various themes raised by the bull and girl statues. Finally, visiting Lodz every year, I'm aware of the city's popular unicorn statue next to the central tram station known as the Unicorn Stables. The unicorn embodies its own mythologies, oddly paralleling New York City's bull and girl. It became the inspiration for a new work made especially for this show.